Another prelim, another game against Brisbane. How do you approach this one?
Yeah, no, it's obviously we've got a little bit of history. Haven't played in a prelim for a couple of years, but against Brizzy. It's going to be a great game. Every game we've played against them in the last 4 or 5 has been really tight, and hopefully it's not tight, but the chances are it's going to be a fierce contest. But we feel like we're pretty well prepared and ready to go.
You haven't had the win over them since I think season 6. So how much does that kind of come into it? I mean, if you look at it, you'd almost say a bogey team at this stage.
Yeah, well, the history's with them, but I don't know if it'll be about history. I think both teams will show up tomorrow, and as that has been for the last little while, it'll be a fierce contest, and the team that executes a little bit better on the day will be the one that comes out on top.
Given the last
Jess said earlier in the week that maybe in previous matchups with Brisbane may have overthought them a little bit. I guess the mental game was a bit too much. Have you
maybe. Yeah. Who was that? Jess, was it?
Yes. That's right on the bus really.
Yeah, that's possibly part of it. But ultimately, I think particularly once you get to the really big games, a lot of that stuff sort of gets pushed to the side. It really becomes just about the contest in front of you, and so. Yeah, the history is interesting, and I like the fact that there's a rivalry there, and it builds up some anticipation for these clashes. But in the end, each event is kind of independent, and we're looking forward to this one.
Is it something of now a bit of a standard bearer of the progress of the league that these two clubs meeting regularly at the finals level? Yeah,
I think sport thrives when there's rivalries, healthy rivalries, and clearly, in order to get that, you need good teams to come up against each other over a period of time. So we've had that, and we're rapt to be in this game again. We're rapt that the opponent is really worthy, and it's going to be a fierce contest, because that means that the standard of the competition and the type of product we're putting out there, for want of a marketing term, is really strong, and hopefully people are engaged with that and are really enjoying watching the development of the league.
The last 3 have been decided by, I think, 7 points all up. I mean, what do you take from those close encounters into this week?
Well, ultimately, just as we've just talked about, it means that the probability is that it's going to be a tight affair, and that both teams obviously match up pretty well. So what you take from it is that if you're not at your best, you won't get it done. So we need to be at our best.
Ebony Marinoff said on radio this morning that your pump-up speech, I think on Wednesday, was one of your all-time best. What did you say?
Well, I hope I didn't go too early. Wednesday, right? Yeah, no, I didn't say anything particular. Obviously we went through the opposition and the analysis of what their strengths are, what our strengths are, and how that probably will play out. So, we're all anticipating it. We're all excited about the game ahead. It should be great fun.
Do you feel like, even though you lost to North, you probably got close to maybe 4 quarter performance? Do you feel like you're building into this?
Yeah, I think over the season, it's been a great, really enjoyable season. It hasn't been easy by any stretch. We haven't had. I think we played maybe only 2 teams in the bottom, 6 or 7. So all of our games across the whole season have been really tight and contested, and even the 2 games we've had against those sides, we ended up winning comfortably, but both those games were also really tight battles. So in terms of the preparation for this last month of the season, that's kind of what you need, and even our final series. Yeah, obviously we travelled over to Melbourne, had a really tough game last weekend. That's what you kind of need. You need to be playing that type of football at the very pointy end, and that's where we are at the pointy end.
I think Brisbane might be almost the opposite, where they haven't played as many of the top 8 teams or whatever during the season. I mean, can you use that as an advantage in any way?
As I said, it'd be an independent event, the game itself, but I'm really comfortable with our preparation. And that's really all you can sort of focus on, is have we done the work, have we prepared ourselves absolutely to the best of our ability, and are we ready to go? And my assessment would be yes, we're ready to go.
Is there any sense at all then that they've been your nemesis in the past few seasons?
No, the history says they've got us beaten the last 4 or 5 times, so that's you got to face that reality. But it just, honestly, it doesn't really impact your preparation or how you go about getting ready to play this game. So. As I said, I like the fact that there's rivalry, and that history provides a little bit of that, but it doesn't really impact what's about to happen.